Right, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Risking It All. Delighted to be joined today by Alex, the professional kitchen wrapper. Alex, cheers for being here, mate.
Hi, cheers for having us.
So as always, we'll kick off, Alex, with asking you to take us back to where it all began. So where are you fae? Tell us a bit about your upbringing, and then we'll go into the old school and education.
Just a boy for the East End of Glasgow, mate. Nothing fancy. I mean, not really got too much to say about it. Just me, my ma, my nana, and my sister. And that was us, man. Just growing up. Originally Sandy Hills I stayed in, but I jumped between Sandy Hills and Shettleston with my mum. So staying with my nana was brilliant. I mean, you got what you wanted. So it's like you go to her house, you got whatever you wanted. So it ended up getting to the point I would stay with my nana more than I would stay with my mum.
Aye.
So
I was the same. My gran lived in the house literally in the other street for us, so I was always there for the same reasons. And my kid loves going to grandparents now for the same reasons.
That's it. People used to didn't know that I had a mo. And it's like, I do have a mo. It's just that I stay with my nana because it's just I prefer staying there. You know what I mean? Sometimes I would go and stay with my ma for a couple of weeks, and then I'd go, shite here, I'll go and stay with my nana. And then my nana would love it. She'd take me in. It was me and my cousin would always end up staying with her. So I ended up getting brought up with him. Like, two of us are like brothers now, you know what I mean? It's like he's getting 40-year-old now, and that was it. It was just because we just preferred staying with my nana. She looked after us, you know what I mean?
Is Shettleston rough, or is that alright?
It's alright now, but when
I'm geographically challenged, I don't know where any
right next to us.
Is it? Right,
okay. But that's why Shettleston had, I don't even know if it's a true stat, right? you can check it later on. It was the lowest life expectancy in the country. It was like 50-year-old the life expectancy was.
Aye, that's low.
Don't get me wrong, there's rougher schemes in Shettleston. I didn't think it was that bad.
Right,
Sandy Hills wasn't it? Sandy Hills was posh.
Right, okay. And what school did you go to?
So I went to East Bank Primary, and then I went to East Bank Academy.
Well.
Aye.
How did you like them? How was the school like for you?
I didn't take to school, mate. It wasn't school was a laugh for me, man. I mean, I was always there, but getting me there on time was a different story. You know what I mean? I was never one for dogging it and all that kind of stuff. It would be go to school, and it was in my school, you're going to school because if you're not in school, you're in this house annoying me. So it's like if you weren't there, well, it's like get up, you're gone. You know what I mean? I was there for an education, it was for babysitting. You know what I mean? But primary was saying it was just a laugh, and then the high school was the same. We get toughed out, so everybody stays on to at least the end of fourth year. We made it to, me and my pal, we made it to third year before we get sent out on day release.
Day release, that's like prison.
So they didn't want. So basically, there was too many classes that we were in that we were having too much of a laugh in. So there would be some teachers that would be like, don't want them in our class. So when people would get, like, say, French and maths, we'd get double math because the French teacher didn't want us. And then it'd get to the point the maths teacher would be like, we were just too disruptive. And it wasn't out of badness, it was just, we were just having fun. So then we get sent to Springburn College, and that's one of the best things that they could have done for us because it was good. We went and learned, like, hands-on working with tools. So instead of putting us in classes where we weren't interested, and all of a sudden you soon realise that teachers in colleges and teachers in school are totally two different things. Like that guy in the college, you felt as if he would have battered you. There wasn't, he treated you like an adult, and that was probably one of the best things. So I done that, and then I didn't get any proper grades or anything like that. And it's weird that we're talking about this now. So I got my missus was having a clear out the other day, and she found see how you get your grades through your certificates. My school ones is like 4. And then when you go to the college one, it's just lists of everything. So it's like bits of joinery, bits of bricklaying, it was like introduction to construction. So every stage of construction, I learned the fundamentals of each one. And the idea was you would do that, and then you would get somebody to take you on as an apprentice. But it ended up getting to the point there was only about 3 or 4 boys for the college class that were ever going to get took. And the ones that were having a laugh, flinging mortar at people and all that, and it's just we're never going to. It's like if I show you in the class, what you're going to be like on site. So even though we took it that wee bit more serious in school, we still didn't take it serious enough.
Right, okay. And was it like full-time college after school?
Aye.
Aye.
So I had to go to college full time after school because my ma was a case of you either get a job and pay big money or stay on at education, so she did when they lose their benefits.
Aye.
so it was like that was the options. So but I had to stay on anyway because I didn't have English, I didn't have maths, I didn't have anything like that. Like reading, I could read, I could write, but I couldn't date to a standard. It was still very, it was poor, put it that way.
Right, okay.
So I had to go and do that, and then I had to take that serious because I would have just been a pure dunce. I'd have had no chance.
How long were you at college in the end?
I ended up doing, I think I'd done like 4 years at college.
Oh, did you? Right,
Aye,
okay.
but I bounced out, it's like anything in my life, man, I just bounce about from one thing to another. So I get one idea in my head, then I go, so I went and done the construction thing, then I went, I don't want to be on site, it's too cold. So then I went and done computing, where I learned that that's how I've got, a lot of the skill set I've got now has been good because I've done all these different things.
Aye.
So I went and done computing, done maths and English obviously as well, but doing the computing was brilliant. It's like you learn how to build a computer, learn how to do everything, and then you get can't remember what it's like your computer driving license essentially. So it's like they learn how to do Microsoft Office, all that kind of stuff, and that's been invaluable for me.
Yeah,
Aye.
I bet. Because I find that like our typical client is a tradie, if you like, and in my experience, you've either got one or the other. There's very few people, like me, for example, I'm a computer guy through and through. Can he pick up a screwdriver or hammer to do anything? I'm completely useless.
You see, I'm a computer guy through and through. And I would rather no pick up a hammer.
Aye.
But if I need to go on the tools, I can do it.
Yeah.
And I can do it to quite a good standard. I can turn my horn to a lot of stuff because of that. But I would much rather sit at a computer all day, every day. That's what I would rather be doing.
Aye. All right, mate. So you left college, and then it was time to join, I guess, the big bad world, the employment.
Get a job, aye.
What was job number one for you?
Worked in a wee sign shop, and well, I had like wee part-time jobs, but my main job was working in a wee sign shop for a guy, Frank, and it's still there to this day, man. The guy's been running it for about, don't know, he must be about 90-year-old now, and he's still there. But when I done that, I went in there, so the job centre was saying to me, you need to get a job. And I wasn't applying for anything because I was like, I wanted to do web design.
Right, okay.
Because I'd been learning web design on, like, that was my hobby. And I was like, I want to be a web designer. And I'm like, but you've got no qualifications for that. I was like, then I'm going to have to go back to college. But by that time, I'd got my own house and all that, and I couldn't afford to. So the job centre had said to us, look, that guy's looking for somebody, go and see him. I went down seeing him, and he just sat me in front of a computer and said, right, can you cut that motor out for on Photoshop? I was like, I no bother at all. I've been cutting my mates' faces out for months, man. I was like, Photoshop, all sorts of stuff to my. And it's like, who would have thought that would have turned in, that would have led to a job?
Aye.
So cut the motor out, and he just done that to me. So right, you can start on Monday. And I was like, how much will I be getting? And he's like, he turned around to his daughter and said, how much should we paying the boys, Trish? And she's like, 200 quid. He's like, 200 quid a week? I was like, done. Like 200 quid a week, you know what I mean? I can't get people to work for that for a day. And when I think of the stuff I was doing for it, you know what I mean? But doing that guy told, but he didn't take my shite.
Aye.
So that's probably one of the best things that could have happened to me. Is I've got lucky. I think I've just kind of fell into stuff and it's just kind of worked its way out. Like when I into him, it's like I was in trying to carry on and all that. He's like, carry on if you want, you'll just not have a job next week. I think every week that guy threatened me with a sack. It's like, even when it came to, like, I remember buying my first motor, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it, man. I don't know if my job's secure. I'd been working there for 3 years. And I still didn't think my job was secure, because that's just the way he worked it. It was like, he made it quite clear, if you mess about, you will be sacked.
Aye.
And he was true to it, because he sacked me one time. But I was back within, they knew they wanted me, you know what I mean? I was back within 2 weeks, but he suffered that for 2 weeks before me, just
But I think, like, in inverted commas, back in the day, that's how a lot of people ran their businesses. Now you can't say boo to somebody, do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm on eggshells around people half the time now.
Aye.
You see, I've had people asking me for 800 quid a day.
Aye.
And I'm going, well, I've no to make money apparently, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, well, that's the rate. It's like, honestly, and it's people always on TikTok say kitchen wrap isn't a trade. Telling you there's kitchen wrappers out there that are making more money than joiners.
Aye.
It's like, honestly, it's crazy some of the money these guys are wanting.
So I guess I can see like that shop that you worked in, was he doing signs for shops or was it like a car wrapper guy?
So it wasn't. He just did shop signs, but it was more car trade.
Ah, right. Okay.
So he basically had this guy had been in the industry for years. He used to fit sunroofs, so he knew everybody in Arnold Clark and Evans Halshaw and all that. So he would just basically get in his van, drive about for the day. This was his marketing. He didn't do any ad. He'd just get in his van, drive about for the day, and then come back and go, there are a list of orders, make them, get them sent out.
Ah, right. Okay.
That's what he did. He would just walk into the showrooms with his pad and go, right, what you wanting? What do you need? Right, boom, there you go. And then come back and go, right, he's go make that. And then he would go and deliver them all.
Right, okay.
That's clever, but it's quite old school. You don't see that very
he's
often.
as old school as they come. But see, if he used to, I think he used to stay in Canada, and I'm sure he used to sell photocopiers. And that's just it. We see the old school sales mentality.
Aye.
That's what he used to always say. So I'll make a couple of grand a day if I can get out this shop and go and bang down doors. Because he knew these guys, so he would walk in. So it was dead hard for anybody to try and take his bit of the market. The only reason we ended up, I think we lost Arnold Clark. And that's how I ended up leaving that job, but it was because Arnold Clark were spending too much and they put a lot of it in-house.
Right.
So they spent thousands setting up their own because I think this guy was just walking in and clearing up, man. and even they were making it themselves, and you know, he was still walking in there and getting orders after him.
Oh, was he?
Just because he's going, they'll not get it as fast as me. He was good at what he done, know what I mean?
Aye.
Spot on. And see, when you were in that role, you mentioned Photoshop. Was that your first? Was there any other sort of design software or
It was
computer
all
software?
the
that you-
Adobe package. It was actually Macromedia package.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that.
I was going to say before
I've
my
heard
time.
it.
I don't think it's before my
your
time.
time?
I've just not used
Better
it.
not be, man. What age are you?
I'm 37.
You're older than me before my time. I look old, I'm not that old. It was Macromedia Fireworks. And then
Right, okay.
Adobe, and then it was
Adobe.
Dreamweaver and all that kind of stuff for web design. So Adobe bought them out. So it was the package kind of thing with it, but it was Coral Draw. I would use that.
Coral Draw. Had a go at that before.
Aye. So a lot of sign guys love Coral Draw
Yep.
because you can design it full size.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like see designing signs on Adobe. I'm horrible at it because you need to design it a quarter size and stuff like that.
Aye.
I would just take Coral Draw and you just go in. You go if you need a 5 meter sign, you just put a 5 meter. You just put in 5 meters and zoom out. So that was good. But I would use Photoshop. And then Dreamweaver and all that for making websites. I used to make remember years ago it used to be scheme websites people would have. And it'd be like all the Neds and all that. I was the guy making all rain for everybody. It's like that was my thing.
Aye. That's funny.
You would go on the website and it would just be like a tune that would play.
Aye,
Special D come with me.
Young
soon
team in front of it.
It's like it would have all the scrolling text and all that. And it's like that was all the stuff I done, man.
That's class.
So when you left that shop, is that when you went into business for yourself, or
No,
did you
no,
do a
man.
couple more after
they
that?
lost the contract for Arnold Clark and he said, look, somebody's losing their job. And even though he used to always threaten us with losing his job, it felt real that time.
Aye.
Because we were very aware that sales had dropped off and Arnold Clark he was only getting so much at them. And it was a graft for him to get. You could see the stress, you could see it in him. Like there was a noticeable change in him. So I just went on Gumtree. Somebody was looking for a sign fitter. I'd never fitted signs before, but I knew I was handy enough to do it and I'd been making them for long enough. So I thought, fuck it, I'll wing it, man. And I went down, the guy's like, right, no bother. Do you know, leaving that job, I came back, I was like, I've just got that job. He's like, much they paying you? I was like, 350 quid a week. And he's like, aye, right, no bother. I was like, what a wage rise that is? He's like, don't tell any of the rest of them. But I went down there, man, they gave me a van. And I'm scared of heights, right? I'm horrible on heights. My first day, they gave me a van and sent me out to a job, and it was up a 3-tier ladder, screwing a banner up. I'm like, on the phone to my missus, like, I'm going to get fun out today. I just so happened they had a wee apprentice, he was scared of heights. I was like, I'll fit the ladder, wee man, for you. You go up, so I could build my confidence up. They had me driving a big van. I'd never even drove a van before.
Aye.
But I'd said to him, I drive vans, no bother and all that. But I done that for a year, and they sent me all up and down the country. They sent me all up and down the country, and it was a good learning curve for me because it was like working away from home. like basically they gave me a job that I shouldn't have been getting.
Aye.
I've just managed to go into the interview and talk myself into it, and it was good. We were doing like Oak Furniture Land, so they were doing the fit outs for them. So
Right,
we were
okay.
going in doing all the signage for that. But they had me putting up signage that I had no right putting up. It's like health and safety off. I was on YouTube looking for fixings, like how to fix into cladding and stuff like that. It's like, see now when I think back, I'm going, well, that was dodgy. Like that shouldn't. I mean, I was on a wing and a prayer there, man, and they were quite happy. It's like, I mean, the jobs get done. The only reason I left that job is because somebody offered me more money to go and work for them.
Right.
So I was
doing the same job again.
That was that. So I was there for a year. And then another guy was looking for somebody. I applied for that, went in to see him. And I was honest with him. I was like, look, I've just spent the last year winging it. But I've got mega knowledge now and I can do this and I can do that. And I said to him, he's like, how did you know how to do it? But so I went on YouTube and that's what he liked. He's like, because
honesty.
he's like, I don't want people phoning in the office saying, how do I do this, how do I do that?
Just learn it.
He's like, just learn, just do it. That's your job. I was like, I couldn't phone in the office and say, how do you do it? I'd get sacked. So I had no choice, but that was his thing. So he gave me that job. I was there for a couple of years. And then we get sent to, something happened with a laminator one day, and we get sent down to another shop, another local sign guy. I went into him using the laminator, and he's like, "Me in the now, I speak to you." And I was talking to him, and he's like, "You're good at what you do," and then he gave me a job there. And then I was there for a year, and then the last guy I worked for, he phoned me. He's like, "Look, we need somebody for a better position again." He took me back there, and then eventually I just ended up, the hours and all that were just getting too much, and my wife's like, all you're doing is moaning. And I started doing kitchen wraps on the side. And I was getting enough of them to be able to go, no, what?
Scrap it.
I'll take the chance, I'll pack my job.
And how did you, I was going to say, how did you get the idea for kitchen wrapping? Because
There was a wee guy on Facebook doing it. And he wasn't doing kitchen, well, he was kind of doing it, but he was doing furniture.
Right.
And my ma it was my wife that was looking for it. She's like, I'm getting a price for somebody to do this and do it. I was like, aye, right, no bother. I was like, I can do it. That's what I do. That's my job. You know that? It's like, it's essentially the same thing. So she would, so that brought it to my attention, and I started following the boy. I don't even know if he's still doing it now. I'm saying a boy, he could be a woman, he could be a guy. I don't know. It's like I've never put a face to the company.
So how long ago was that then?
That must have been about 8-9 years ago.
Right.
And then my mum, she bought her house, and she's like, once I buy the house, I'm going to have X amount of money left. I'm going to get a new kitchen, all that, but lawyers' fees and all that. She didn't realise. So she's like, oh, what am I going to do with this kitchen? So I was like, I'll wrap it. I wrapped it, and it took me 2 days to do it. See now when I think back, I'm going like that. How that took 2 days, I will never know. Like, I'd rattle that job out in 4 hours now, and it'd be 10 times the job of what it is, you know. But we done hers, and then before you know it, just snowballed for there. And slowly but surely, our prices are just went up and up and up. But our prices are going up because the quality's getting better. So the prices aren't going up because we're getting greedy. The prices are going up because I'm deciding, right, we're using this vinyl, we're taking more time to do this, we're stripping back kitchens, we're repairing this, we're doing this, so that's it. So now we will only go back to that. Even though my dad's kitchen's still wrapped doing the same stuff, and it still looks alright, every time I look at it, I just know it can be better.
I feel like kitchen wrapping's like one of the things that, like, this has got to sound insane, but hear me out, right? It's a bit like salt and chili, right? So, see when we were younger...
That's a comparison.
let me get there, right? So, see when we were younger, it wasn't a hang. Like, salt and chili wasn't a hang, and now it's like, I can't imagine life without it.
Aye, that makes sense, aye.
Whereas kitchen wrap, I think the first time I encountered it was, did you get your kitchen wrap?
I get my kitchen
I went into
Did
his...
you? Who offer?
Don't know, the missus done it, some guy on Facebook.
I went into your kitchen and was like, I didn't know you got a new kitchen. You're like, no, we got it wrapped. I was like, what the fuck is that? I didn't even know it was a thing. Like,
Is it gloss?
What?
Is it gloss?
No, it's no shiny, no.
That must be good then.
No, it's not shiny.
Gloss
one.
kitchens are always the ones that, they're the cheap
The
ones.
cheap ones.
so you started doing that on the side, basically. You were
Aye.
still working full time, started building that up on the side, and then
That's it, man. Started building it up. It turned into a business quick. Like, it was crazy quick, but I didn't know what I was doing. Like, running a business for you. I was employing staff. I was putting people in the books and all that, just willy-nilly. Like, no thinking about pensions, national insurance, all that kind of stuff. I was just going, you want a job $10 an hour? Get you $10 an hour. No realising it's actually costing me more than that. So we were running it, we were making a profit, but it was a very small profit. But we went from my garage to a unit 4 times the size of it next door. Built a showroom in that, done that, brilliant, everything was going great. We're starting to pick up, and then COVID hit, and then that was it, man.
God, aye.
So our phones started blowing up, people wanting their money back, their deposits, and I'm like, but I've been buying the stuff.
Aye.
But people didn't want to hear it, and it ended up getting to the point it was stress and arguments that we didn't want, because my wife was pregnant at the time, and as much as we look back right and we laugh at COVID, we laugh at the stuff we were doing, but see, at the time we were watching the news, like, you didn't know.
No.
It's like, as much as there might have been some people that were going, it's a lot of rubbish, like some is, like myself, I was looking at it and I'm going, I don't know if that's a lot of rubbish. It's like, my wife's pregnant, all I know is I'm going up to lock that door and we're not coming out of that house until we're told otherwise, and that's what we've done. And whilst I was sitting in the house no doing any jobs and giving people their money back, they people were taking that money and then going paying people to do the homeless.
Aye.
Right.
So when we came back, these people that were meant to be booking back in with us never booked back in. Like, we've had it done, and we've had it done cheaper as well, you know. And it's like, you've only had it done cheaper because it's somebody that's no paying tax on it, it's no hangway. It's like, that's the only reason they're cheaper. It's not because we were greedy and we're trying to bump you. It's like, some of these guys are, because people would be quite, if I do your job, it's going to have to be cash. Because they weren't allowed to be out, parking their van during the corner and all that, and all cloak and dagger, getting in the back doors and all that. It's like, that just wasn't for me. So as much as it was a pain, I wouldn't
Change it.
I wouldn't change it. Like, if it happened again now, I'd still just go in and lock up and just do the right. Well, I know people probably say it's not the right thing or whatever, but to me it's the right thing.
Aye.
It's like, that's just the way it is. But we got funding and stuff like that. But I get 10 grand because I had a premises. Then we get a 10 grand bounce back. I thought I was the richest guy in the world, man. I thought, this is brilliant. But then when we started bank, we had all these bills to pay. That money just started going. It's like all of a sudden now the bank just started disappearing. So it was thing with. But after that, a guy came in and he's like, I'll buy everything you've got here. He's like, you've got a good website, you've got a good company, you've got a good thing. He's like, I'll give you X amount for it. And come and work, and then what you can do is you come and work for me and I'll pay you a good salary.
Right, okay.
I was like, brilliant, man, that's a cracking salary. But ended up, the further down the line it go, you started to realise this isn't quite what I've been sold here. Like, so I was like,
What was the alarm bells with that one then? When did you start thinking,
when you get told to sign out of the pension.
right, okay.
It's like, you're not allowed to do that, you know what I mean? It's like, all of a sudden now it's like, well, so what, I'm not getting a pension? If I'm employed by somebody, that's your legal right. Like, you can opt out it yourself. They should never be saying to you, I'm paying you too much to and then it ended up getting to the point, it's like, oh, you'll be on this bonus and all that, you'll be on that, and then eventually when it comes to paying the bonus, it's like, oh no, we're going to have to relook at this. It's like, well, I'm going to have to reevaluate whether I'm working here or not. And then I was like, no, what, I'll just go and start myself, because by that time I'd been watching people like Fraser Hooley on TikTok. And I kept saying, I was like, so we do that TikTok and do it the way they're doing it, we'll go big. I was like, because they boys are killing it, man. It's like, even though they might, a lot of them are probably making out they're doing better than what they are, they're still killing off. Just to recognise, just people knowing. Like, I'll get people stopping me in Tesco and B&Q and saying that, and they know what Kitchen Wrap is because they're watching my videos. So they know what we can do. So all of a sudden now, these people, we take on leads that we never thought was possible without paying for them, which is brilliant.
Aye. So you essentially started again. When was this? That's a couple of years ago.
Just over a year ago.
Just over a year ago.
I only started this what you are seeing now and what you have been watching. I only started that at the start of last year.
Right, okay. Really? Is that when you properly started TikTok as well?
Aye. I'd been dabbling in it for a couple of months before it, but it was January where it went. So 14 months.
Cool. So you sold your old business, worked for that, whoever purchased it for a while, realised, fuck this, I'm off, I'm going to do my own thing.
That's exactly what I done.
And what was your first introduction to TikTok like? So obviously you seen somebody doing it and you thought, I'm going to have a go at this. What was your early days like?
It was horrible. See, even now when I look back on some of the videos, I'm like, oh. It's like people hang with it. It's like when they do TikTok, it's like so robotic. It's like you're putting on your phone voice. It's like people understand you. You don't need to talk like that. It's like different if you're going for like a wider audience. Like my audience is people that will buy off me. So it's the Central Belt.
Yeah.
You can understand my accent. Doesn't matter where you stay in that central belt. You understand me, and people buy for people. So it took me a while to get through to get away from that. I've done this kitchen today. What do you think of this? You know what I mean? It's like it took me a while to get away from it, and then I was overthinking the videos. So it's like somebody liked a video the other day, and it's one of my first videos talking about pricing, and it's getting the bloody background and all that, and it's in my kitchen. It's all washed out, and it just looks horrible. And then even the audio's all right on it because I must have put effort into that. But I was reading off a script.
Right, okay.
And it was clear to see. It's pure obvious. And that's what people are watching. People watch you because they feel like it's a conversation they're having. Say if you're reading off a script or no. Or if you're reading off a script, you better be good at it, put it that way.
And for any other folk in trade, I guess, that are listening or watching this podcast and thinking, oh, that's a pile of shit, that TikTok, it's folk dancing. And talk to us a bit about like the impact that's had on your actual business.
Honestly, I can guarantee anybody who's watching it hang with and saying that, they are 100% wrong. Like people say your first year in business, don't expect much. Our first year in business, we've took in thousands. Like we didn't even think we would have been VAT registered. Like the fact that we had to go VAT registered because we were more than double of what the threshold is for it. Don't get me wrong, that's gave me anxiety. Going like, oh no, all of a sudden now we're got 20% dearer than these other guys. But it's like the leads it. So we don't need today. Don't get me wrong, paid ads is great. It's something that I want to get into, and I want to. But see with TikTok, we can just do the videos and we'll bring in 10 inquiries a day just for doing them. To the point where we'll knock back some kinds. So we don't do worktop only jobs, and it's because we're just too busy doing all the other stuff.
That's wild, isn't it? It's amazing, but it's
and the inquiries,
wild, but...
the amount of inquiries, but don't get me wrong, it's like our inbox is full. So it's like we'll get people asking weird and wonderful things, like can you wrap a front door, and then you'll get people that just want to talk to you because they just want to be your pal. You know what I mean? It's like it was getting to the point. I had to come off the home visits because people were
just want you in the house to have a chat.
And I'm going, I don't know why. It's like they've watched a couple of videos, you know what I mean? It's no, and the best is an afternoon get a follow and the way some of these other guys are. So I can only imagine what it's like for these guys that have got hundreds of thousands. I mean, we get 16,000 and I can feel that. Like, we go to people, so I don't come out to the home visits anymore. I get my sister to go and do them because she knows kitchens. Like, she's worked in this for day dot for me.
Right.
Even when I went to that other company, she went with me.
Right, okay.
She stayed there after I had left. I was like, yeah, wee snake. They kept her on because she was good at what she does and she knows it. So she left there and she goes out and does them. She does all the bookings. Right. So now when the customer does eventually, if it's somebody for TikTok, look, we know. But it's even getting in the front doors a lot easier.
Aye.
It's like people are so welcome to it. They know what it is we do. We know what it is. They've got a rough idea of price and all that kind of stuff. But if anybody's thinking about getting it, just don't take yourself too serious. Pick up the camera, put your face on it, and just tell them what you're doing. Just imagine you're on the phone to your missus.
How do you decide like your content almost? Like what is is there a strategy or is it just whatever's in my head at the time, I'll just film it?
I went for saying I'm going to do a series on rapping random stuff to doing 2 videos and then patching it.
Aye.
And it's just everything, it's just so random, it just depends what mood I'm in that day. Like I try and not overthink it, like, because when I overthink it, then I used to sit and I'd go, all right, these are the videos for the week, and I would write scripts and I would do this and I would do that. And then I'd put in all that effort and it would hardly get any views. The other day I put on a video, me in the motor with my wee lassie in the background saying, right, what kitchen do you like the best?
We watched it this morning in the office before we headed in.
It'll get 2,000 views. And that's one of the easiest videos I could have made. Yeah. That was me and her going to McDonald's on Sunday morning. It's like the ones like that are easy. But the ones that you overthink, we were doing it was like full production days we were doing on jobs. Like putting the phone inside the motor so you see the door opening and all that. Like putting the phone up so you can hear the door slamming and all that kind of stuff. Then
the best one ever. I don't actually know if it was one of yours or if it was one of James's where he's bent air in the bath and he's got a thong on. I was killing myself laughing when I seen it.
We did that for the Move It business, for the removals company that was started. And see the amount of inquiries we got off the back of that. It was brilliant. This is great, you wore a thong. And it was saying, I done a video, I was wrapping my pal's kitchen, and I done a video saying when the customer says make yourself at home, and I was walking about with my mate's bathrobe on and all that around me, like with the kid running a bath, like eating all his chocolate in his bed. And we get see the amount of inquiries we get after that. We were going out to people who says, "Oh, I seen that video. It was dead funny." It's like just have fun with it.
So is that the key? Just try and make it fun rather than like, I've got this task that I need to do. Like,
you see that it's a task. That's when you don't want to do it. But see if you can do it in a way where you can have fun with it, and then every other video you can show people. Like for instance, like so if a hinge is broke on a job, I can go, look at the state of this, look at this, we'll fix it. Like we done one the other day and it was a hob, and the original guy had fitted it with no clearance behind it. Now I'm no kitchen fitter, but I know that's no legal. So we fixed it and we pulled it forward. So we just done a quick video showing people that this is what we're doing. And all of a sudden now we were getting inquiries off people saying, oh, mine's was fitted like that. Is that something that you could do for mine when you're wrapping it? And we're going, aye. It's like, so things like that. If you put it out there and just have fun with it, people will get the message. If you're just constantly with the message, and people want you need to give people something to watch.
Aye.
It's like, think of the people that you watch. You don't watch any. You will not be watching anybody who's just constantly going on about this one thing. Like, oh, look at this vinyl today. Well, I've seen all your vinyl, mate. Like,
Aye.
I've seen everything you've got to show me. People want to see your life. One of the best guys for this is Darren Meakin.
Aye.
Like see him. That guy's like, I'm invested on what motor he's buying this week. I'm sitting going like that. Well, I know he was in BMW, so it must be a BMW. And then, but he's built that platform. All of a sudden, now he's doing videos talking about how he's starting a windows and door company. But he done a video saying he was going to start concentrating on that. Now he's saying he must be getting that many inquiries. He's like, that's a business.
Aye.
He's been able to turn that into a business just overnight, and he'll get work. And it's all because if you watch his videos, one video he's playing the guitar. I don't watch the ones, but that's obviously bringing in an audience.
That's the guy that does the fucking honky.
Aye, the
what's
honky,
that wee song thing that he done?
Don't sing it, man, because it'll get stuck
I
in
know,
the head.
I know what you're talking
But
about.
see
now,
him, it's like he's doing that video. When he's out and about, he's just stopping, putting the tripod up. He's himself
singing a song,
and he's not even singing it. He's just standing there dancing and then putting the video on. And it's like, but that was getting thousands of views.
Aye.
And he'll be getting loads of work after that. Like I got him out today, stuff in my house. Yeah, I got him to, when I was doing my office, I got him to put doors in the side of my house.
Is he a joiner? Is that what he does? Aye, he's a joiner.
So obviously keeping it natural, keeping it fun, off the cuff seems to be a theme. Is there any traps you fell into when you were doing the content?
Aye, arguing with trolls.
Aye.
Don't feed the trolls. Honestly, like I've came back and forth with it. You think something, you go, if you feed them, you get views, but it's no views you want. It's views for other trolls, and it's views for people like it's TikTok knows. So if TikTok, if you reply to that person, you feed that one troll, TikTok's going to go, well, people similar to him. And then it'll find other trolls similar to him, and then it'll start pushing them towards your page. And then once it's hard to turn back for it. It's like if anybody gives you any snash, just delete them. Block and delete them. Don't get into it. Don't engage in it at all. If they give you stuff about the job and you go, well, that's because you're no educated on this, it's a good opportunity for you to educate your audience. So we'll get joiners, people will come on and say, you can buy a new kitchen for the price you charge. Like, no, you can't. So it's like do a video like that, because then all of a sudden you'll get other joiners that will come on and back you up, because they'll go, what he's charging for that, you can't even get labour off me. So before you know it, you'll get that. They're the kind of, because they're known trolls as such, as people that don't know. A troll, somebody that's just trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't even engage in it, man. It's not even worth it. I've done it. Like, you're sitting in bed going, I know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Making up fake accounts to go and troll them back.
So that's a definite, bit of advice for them out there in TikTok.
100%. Don't fall into the trap. We all fall into it, but don't do it.
Do you get other trades? I find like the dynamic of this quite interesting, like even within our industry. Do you get other trades guys that will have a go? Or like other trades guys that will look down their nose at your type of business?
I'm
go,
not allowed
"That's
to
not a
call
trade."
myself a trade for a start, apparently.
Right, okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
We get it. Like you're a kitchen wrapper, you're no a trade.
All right, okay.
I'm going, how am I know? It's like, oh, what qualifications have you got? Well, there is qualifications you can get, but I've got the best one, experience.
Aye.
It's like, but if a painter and decorator's a trade, how come kitchen wrap can't be a trade? Well, but you didn't go to college. Doesn't matter. It's like joiners.
It's
Joiners are,
it's not. It sounds like snobbery to me.
but they don't like, so
Nothing
like,
else.
you'll get joiners that will come on that will say you're no a trade, and then they don't want you making the kind of money that they can make. But it's because they've had to spend years going to college and learning all these different aspects. It's like we special. So it's like you'll get joiners that will specialise in fitting kitchens. doesn't mean they're no a joiner.
Aye.
It's, you know what I mean? So it's like all we've did is like, we've took like people think kitchen wrap's a bigger thing than that. It's architectural wrapping. I just don't push it. So it's like it's massive in Europe.
Just like niche down almost.
Aye, all I've did is just basically bring it down to something that we can specialise in and then put it out there. Because if we specialise in it, so it's like, say for instance, like a joiner, how do you market that you're a joiner? So how do you find an audience? How do you find people to buy off you? It's hard because you're going, oh, I can build you a house, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. You want a door hung, I do this. And if people get overwhelmed, that's how we just go, I'm a kitchen wrapper.
Yeah.
It's like we can market that, we can advertise that, I can put that on Facebook, I can put ads out, and it'll be, do you want your kitchen wrapped? I'm the guy to go to. That's it, rather than going, do you want, I don't know what you want, but I could do eating.
Aye.
It's
And
like,
we fell into that exact same trap when I started my business. You know, I was just a marketing guy.
aye.
You know, I'll do whatever you want, really. And it's hard in it. Like, it's too hard to get the right audience. But
Aye. But you can specialise in one niche of marketing,
Yeah.
and you can go, we're the best at that. So it's like we can do other kind of wrapping, but we just choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Say me. I just choose not to do it because it doesn't make sense for me to do anything else. Because I'm very process, like I love processes in business. So even for the moment you contact us, you'll get, so basically you go on our website, you contact us, you get a quote, it will automatically come to you. Like we've built a spreadsheet that calculates that price. It takes the information you've gave me, puts it in that, gives you a price, emails you out, and then it gives you a link to book in with us, well, gives you options. You click on that link and it gives you, automatically it fills in your details on the form, so you don't need to do it again. Because it takes the details for original.
I had a wee play about it this morning in
Aye,
the office.
did
Aye.
So-
I've
I'm a
seen
process
I've seen
guy
you
too.
talk
So
about
if
it
you've
in
got a
TikTok,
quote off
so-
us, somebody will phone you. So I'll just let them phone you,
Aye.
and then you can see. But even the thank you page should have had a video for me saying thank you, and try to give you these, like using it as an opportunity to sell what we do. Because if people are shouting about, it's like, aye, but we've had customers that didn't realise that wasn't a personal video to them. It's like, oh, he sent me a video, that was lovely. But I didn't actually say, I sent everybody that video. So we systemise it like, because we bring in, and it's probably, say on average, say 10 inquiries a day for kitchen wrapping. See, to sit down and quote every single one of them, you could probably take
much.
It's too much. So we automate it like that, and then it's a case of, what do you want to do next? Do you want to book a visit? Do you want to book a call, all that kind of stuff? Do you want to just see samples? Click what you want, submit it, and then it goes through to one of my team. And then after that, it's a case of we book in a lot because of that. Because it's basically people are ready to buy the fastest. Whoever's the quickest is going to win that job.
Aye.
that's really clever.
So anybody you're going out to see already has a price anyway, and you go out and does it alter ever, or you stick that way as a hard quote? 'Cause obviously,
Don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to encourage people to try and haggle me. There's always a wee bit of room for something. Like there's some stuff rather that sometimes the price can't come down, but what we can do is we can give you additionals for free.
aye.
So we've got a woman today, the boys are out doing her job. Her thing is her price didn't come down, but she needed her boiler box done. So I was like, we can do that. We do that, no bother at all. We just build it and just sit it on the front, sit it on the top of it, and that's it. So she'd been quoted 600 quid to get that done. So in her head, she's just saved herself 600 quid
£600,
because to get another rapper to come in who couldn't do it, that's it. So price might not go down, but there's definitely things that we can give you.
To add a bit of value.
Aye, so it's like you need kick plates, we can maybe give you a set of kick plates. If it just depends. It's not always going to work out like that, but in general there'll be something that we can try and do to win the job.
Right, okay. And I'm interested to ask about, I know we spoke before the podcast, but you've just started Move It with James, so
Move It's been an
tell
experience
us a bit
already.
about that.
We done our first job and it was a loss. We actually lost money on the first job, and it was just because it's things, see how we were saying about price there. I know that, and I know the kitchen wrapping industry, I know the price, I'm confident in my price. We're not confident enough in our pricing yet. So we've been saying to people, well, how much do you want to pay? It's like, we know how much we need to make a month to cover our overheads, but we keep the overheads low. We bought the van outright. So it's only really insurance that we need to cover every month. The boys that are on their 0-hour contract that are out, just until it builds up.
Aye.
So we done the first job and they went out. Well, that's 70. We tried to get, I think it was 120 quid off her. she haggled us down to 75. And she's like, such and such. It's like, we'll do it for that price just to get the ball rolling.
Aye.
They went out and they took the wardrobes. They had to take the door off, so they had to go and buy tools to do that. So straight away had to reimburse them for the tools. And then when they came back, they're like, well, it took an extra so many hours. I'm going, well, we thought it was only going to be 2 hours. Well, it took 4. So that was us. There was no money for that job at all. But we're learning as we go along. Our thing is, see, move it. We know what we need to do to make that a good experience for customers. We might not necessarily be fully clued up on how moving a house works yet, but we will learn it. And at the end of the day, it's loft. If you ask me to move a desk, it's moving a desk, you know what I mean?
Aye.
So we know that we can give people a better experience with us. That's why we started that business, because I was looking for people to move stuff for me. And honest to God, it was a nightmare. It was getting to a point where one of the guys was on the phone. I was like, mate, just leave it. Like, this is just mere hassle and it's worth it. All I need you to do is go and pick stuff up for A and bring it to B. And the guy phoned me 8 times to ask where to get the address. I was like, the job's not tomorrow, mate. He's like, aye, but I'm going to go today. I was like, you can't go today. He's like, but I've got time today. Can I just go? I'll just go today. And I'm like, mate, just leave it. And anytime you're phoning up for quotes, you were getting somebody, and it was clearly driving along the motor, maybe not the motorway, but he was driving along, and he's got you on Bluetooth, and you can hear, and he's giving you a price. I was like, he's just made that up.
Aye.
just picked who you
We're
see.
spending time building this business, and we're building all the processes for it, so that similar to the kitchen wrap one, like.
You put in your stuff and it
You
kind of
put in your
spits out.
stuff. You put in your stuff, and it'll give us a price estimated on what information you've gave us, and then it's going to be a phone call for a member of staff who'll say to you, right, I just need to ask you a couple of questions. They'll give you a price on the phone, and then we're going to have to book people in quicker with this industry than what I need to do, because people are acting fast on it.
Aye.
So we were getting people who were agreeing to get it done, but then an hour later emailing us and saying, oh, just cancel it, because somebody had beat us for a £5. But if we took a deposit off them when they agreed to it, then that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Yep.
So these are learning curves, but we just know that we move it, we'll give people such a better experience. So if you're moving house, it's stressful enough. You can't be bothered with somebody phoning you saying, oh, I'm running late, or I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. We're going to build this business to the point where when you book in with us, you'll get a confirmation. And this is what will happen now. You'll get a confirmation, but eventually these confirmations will come with trackers and stuff like that. So you can see where your guy is, where your van is, where your valuables are, which means you don't need to worry about, mate, he's not going to turn up, I need to be out this house today, and things like that. I was booking people in to do stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if the guy's coming.
Yeah.
I genuinely I had no idea that we're like, if the guy had said, right, aye, no bother, mate, I'll go and pick game up for you. And then I've sitting the next day and I'm going, I've got absolutely no clue
Confidence in him
and
going.
confidence if that guy's actually going to go and do this for me today. We'll give people confidence with what we're doing. And that's how we're building that business. We might it's lifting a couch in it, know what I mean? How hard can that be? Make sure it's packaged up and take it out the door before it's gonna try and no damage it to the best you can do. That part of it should be easy. It's the actual running the business that's going to that we want to give people.
It sounds like if you don't mind me saying, like even throughout your working career before you've started in business, it sounds like many of the guys that have sat in that chair before you, you don't let no knowing what you're doing get in the way. You just doing it.
Nah.
Like it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but fuck it.
How
If
you
I make
gonna
a
learn?
mistake, who cares? I'll just throw myself into it, and what will come of it will come of it. Do you think that that's something that separates folk that do well in business?
People are scared to fail. Like, I'm not scared to fail. Like, and I'll be honest with you. Like, there's things in kitchen wrapping that we've done that, like our first boiler cupboard. I know about building a boiler cupboard, but I'll find. If women ask for it, so I'll find out, and then we've just fine tuned that to the point now that that's a service that we can give people that's every bit as good as any joiner. If anything better, because we're using we use the material that we use for the doors.
Oh, the joiners will be onto that. The joiners will be onto that. How you?
We've went out to some that's our joiners went out and just used bare MDF. We're using a melamine for mica because I've got pallets of that, so we can use a better product. They guys can't compete with that unless they've got a pallet of it as well. But the price that I can sell a sheet of that for compared to what they can buy it for is they can't, and it's the perfect stuff to wrap. So it's like, don't be scared. See if you make a mistake, what's the worst that's going to happen? There's nothing that I'm going to do. And you, like, see if I'm moving your house, what mistakes am I honestly going to make that I'm not going to be able to either buy myself out of or fix it for you?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like there's nothing. That's what you get public liability insurance for and all that kind of stuff as well. Not that I'm expecting people to try and claim me. But you shouldn't. The only way you're going to learn is either going out and working for somebody for basically rubbish money, and they're not going to tell you everything either, because these guys have made expensive mistakes. We've had to rewrap full kitchens before because of mistakes, because we've took on a new supplier with a vinyl that we were promised the world about, and it just wasn't good enough, and we've had to bite that. It's like these are just things that need to happen.
Aye. And you've spoke a couple of times a day about your wife. And is it one kid you've got?
Yeah.
One kid, aye. How do you find balancing the old, running a business or running a couple of businesses now and try to be there for them? Are you doing a good job in that space?
I always make time for my wee lassie. Like, I don't care how busy we get. She's my number one priority in life. So it's like if I had to cancel a job because of her, I'd cancel it. I wouldn't care. Like, but I'll just be honest with customers. Like, just I schedule in things the right way. They say, so I'll schedule time for the jobs. I'll schedule time for my lassie and my wife and all, obviously. But but even like, so it's like Sunday. But the thing is, weans are easy. It's like, see if you spend a couple of hours with them, they're happy. I mean, Sunday morning, I get up in the morning, took her to Screwfix with me. She was happy running about Screwfix. That's her spending time with her daddy. Took her up to the bowling, let her run about in the arcade for an hour in there, took her for a McDonald's. I was home for 12 o'clock ready to do whatever I had to do. But it's like, always make time for your family, because you'll resent it. Like, before, when I had a showroom before, I'd go down there on a Saturday. I'd say, I've got somebody coming in Saturday morning, then I'd sit there all day. That's how now I'm a wee bit hangry about having a showroom. Like, do you need it? But don't be scared to, like, so I'll pay my sister to go and do the home visits as well. That's one of the reasons I will do that as well, because it's like, just spend the money, like,
get the time back.
Aye, that's it. Pay for it.
You have spoke about having a team with Kitchen Wraps, and obviously you're only 14 months in. How quickly did you bring people in with you to sort of scale up? Was that quite
probably
process?
quicker than I wanted to do, because the inquiry, it was more like, see, dealing with installs, I can knock out 2-3 installs a week myself.
Right.
But I can't do that and or even though I've got the automation for the quotes, people, like, I was going out doing an install and then going out and seeing people at night. So I wasn't getting home to stupid o'clock. That's when I wasn't seeing my family, and I was going, no, that's it. So I just paid. I was like, so that's it. That's somebody's job now. And then same with emails and stuff like that. That's somebody. I've got a new one starting. Lorraine, she's my cousin. She's starting next month, and her job is 16 hours a week. She answers the emails. That's her job, so I don't even need to worry about them.
Aye, they're done.
Aye. But building a team is building a good team. We rely on a lot of contractors. Well, maybe not a lot, but we rely on a few.
Is that the people that fit the jobs for you? Aye.
But so it's hard, but because some customers, they want me to be the install. Some are quite happy with no being, but these contractors, what they don't realise is so see an install that I do, I'll go on TikTok, I'll show people, and I'll show people how good it is. These people have watched that, so see if you're a contractor and you go and you don't match my quality, they don't know why it's not right, they just know that's not quite what I've seen. So I've had a couple of ding-dongs with contractors in the past, like, but that's not right. Aye, but it was fine, but it's not right. So if it's not right, it's not right, it needs redone.
I guess there's obviously pros and cons to using contractors. The pro, of course, if you've got it in-house, is you've got more control. You basically dictate and say to a certain extent and say, this is how it gets done, don't deviate for that.
Well, that's it, and it's like, my thing is that, like, so for instance, if they're going out wrapping doors, I've got a sample door, I'll give you a door, and I'll say, every door that you wrap needs to match that one that I've done. And if it doesn't, then it's no hard. You'll just no be out again. I would rather only do. I can live off 1 job, 2 jobs a week. Like, I can live comfortably off that. So it's like, if these guys want work off me, and that means that I need to do more marketing, I need to bring in more work, I need to do more inquiries, it costs me more money to do that, then it better be as good as what I can do. It's like, don't embarrass yourself with having me coming out and going like, well, if I do that, it's going to be better. Like, just don't have that conversation. I don't mind having to pay for the vinyl to redo it. Like, I would never go back to them and go, look, mate, you made a mistake with it. Mistake's a mistake. It's like, I'll pay for the vinyl, but you're redoing it. You're doing that until that customer is happy with it, or I can at least say to a customer, that's as good as it's going to be.
Aye, so you can say that with confidence. So is that quality control the key thing about
Quality
contractors?
control's massively, and it's see, because I'm putting my face to it as well. It's even bigger for me. That's how I think we could have grew faster than what I probably am now, but it's keeping that quality. It's hard. I could fling guys out that are just saying that they can rap, and you'd probably get away with it, to be honest with you. But if it's not right, it's not right, and that's just kind of been my mantra.
And I think, like, again, thinking about maybe a lot of trades guys that either we've worked with or that we know, they seem to always kind of grapple with that balance between, like, growing the business to a point where they think, I just don't want any more grief. But others are like, no, I'll come off the tools, I'll run the business, and I want to grow it to the moon. Where are you at in terms of, like, you wanting to grow it and scale it?
I'm writing that middle bit that I don't know what I want to do. It's like, honestly, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. We're at a good stage now where we can grow, but to do that means that we would need to cut out contractors and start employing. And if you're bringing these guys in, you're not going to get, like, as much as people think that you can get a kitchen wrapper for 20 grand a year. You can't get a good one. So
what are you typically paying a decent kitchen wrapper?
I think if we were employing a good kitchen wrapper now, somebody can do, you're going to be looking at least 35 grand a year.
Right, okay.
And that to date to the standard that I would want it done to. That's how much you would probably be looking at. You might get somebody a wee bit cheaper, but you're not getting them cheaper for long, because the entry level to start your own kitchen wrap business isn't high. It's like a website. Some of them haven't even get websites. Like, set up a Facebook page.
Aye.
And then post jobs, and they will find work. So it's hard. We would need, if we're employing something, we would need to pay them good money, and we would need to keep them happy, give them a good work-life balance, give them everything they need, and then just go at it. But the expectations for what you're getting is going to be high. Like, it can't be. If you pay somebody 20 grand a year, what's your expectations for
20
them?
grand a year's nothing.
Exactly.
Really,
Even 27 grand a year, I think it's like, realistically, if you're making a salary of 27 grand a year, you'll live an alright life, but you'll not be, you're not going to be out wining and dining. That, I mean, it's no.
And you can't very well say that it's a trade and then want to pay somebody.
Exactly. So
like McDonald's
if we want to call it a trade and we want to take ourselves serious, we're going to have to pay. And to be honest with you, I would love to say I'd pay more, but the value of the jobs isn't there to pay more. Like, if the value of the jobs went up, then I would love to go out to somebody, by the way, mate, I'll give you 40 grand a year.
And do you think, so what's the current value, roughly, average? For
us, you'll find that we're anything between 1,000 and 2,800.
Right, okay.
I've seen kitchens in the past go up to 3 grand. I've never charged it. I've seen guys sell kitchen wraps at 4 grand.
And you've got people claiming they can get a new kitchen for that.
You don't get the labour for that. That's for 1999.
Aye.
And do you think the future of kitchen wrapping, do you think the materials are going to advance and that job
The materials
value's
are
gonna go up?
already advancing. The material that we use is right in the sweet spot. It's a good price, good quality, hard wearing. It's thick, but there is better vinyls out there. It's just the price needs to come down on it. Some of this stuff so it's like 3M make stuff. Dynoc's been about since the 60s. Like, you ever watch a American movie and they've got the old motor and it's got the wood side panel? That's Dynoc.
Right, okay.
So it's like but their stuff, you're talking between £60 and £100 a metre. So how can I wrap? So it takes a metre to wrap 2 doors. It's like, so I'm going to turn around and go, at you, £100 for the 2 doors. It's like the price point where it isn't there yet, but hopefully it does come down.
You'd imagine that will come down, because wrapping kitchens and stuff, it's a big thing now, it's a big business, and it's an easy way to reduce the cost of getting a new kitchen. Like you said, you come out of my kitchen, I get mine's done, and it does look like a brand new kitchen, but it's all still just the same stuff wrapped, looking fresh and clean.
And the thing is, for us, it's like, so I'm constantly trying to push it. I want it to be as close to a new kitchen as possible, but I also want it to be that if you bring somebody in, you go, look at it, look for the flaws. So don't get me wrong, some kitchens you can't help it. There's some things that are just beyond fixable. But I want it to be a case, like, so see if you come into my kitchen, you'd be hard pressed to know that was a kitchen wrap. Like, even like any of our kitchens, we try and take off all the cornices, we wrap them separately, we refit them, we fit new cornices if we need to. Kick plates, we make sure we try and replace them, or they're all took off and wrapped, right? Rather than a lot of guys will line the flare and wrap it in the flare. But these are the wee bits that you'll be able to pick up that it's a wrap. We try and copy, like, see when a kitchen's manufactured, it's a veneer that's on it. We try and copy the way they've done it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if these panels can be stripped off and wrapped, then we'll strip them off, wrap them, so that when they get put back on, it's like a joiner's finish.
Thanks for joining us. It's been brilliant. Interesting to hear about kitchen wrapping and your new stuff with Move It. Thanks, folks, for listening. And as always, follow us on the socials. Give us a like, give us a share. And we'll see you next week with another guest.
Thanks
Cheers,
everyone.
everyone.
Thanks,
Cheers for having
guys.
us.
Alex.